Hello, mythical creature lovers. I'm glad to be back with you again today. Well, today we're going to talk about mythical creatures in another part of the world. In fact, we're going all the way across to the other side of the world. We're starting right here in Washington State, and we're going all the way across the Pacific Ocean here. We could stop off in Hawaii if we wanted to, but we're going to keep going all the way across to China. So let's go and see what we're going to find in China today. Come along with me. So we're back here and we're going to look at several mythological creatures in China. In China, in mythology, you can see that animals are often linked with well-being and fate and fortune. Here's a really good example right here. The Chinese unicorn is called the Kirin or the Qilin, and it had a body of a horse, a head of a dragon, and a single horn. It almost sounds kind of like some of the things that you did last week where you created a mashup of different characters, doesn't it? The supernatural animals at the beginning of creation, there was first a god called Pagu, and was helped by four sacred animals to create the world. And these were the dragon, the phoenix, the tortoise, and the unicorn. And we're going to look a little bit more at those characters. And they became the guardians of the hidden realms away from humans in the sea, the sky, the swamp, and the forest. And so you can see over here some pictures of those different animals, the phoenix, the dragon, the tortoise, and the white tiger over here. And they represent these four different directions that we see on a regular rose compass. And we're going to look a little more in depth in other weeks at the phoenix and the dragon in particular. But this week, I wanted to read to you a story of one of the characters that's very important to them and that they have a lot of stories written about. And this particular character is called the Monkey King. And the Monkey King is a character that carries a lot of mischief. He gets into a lot of scrapes and kind of makes trouble for people. But actually, he's a very well-loved character in Chinese mythology. He's one of the most loved characters, and he's called Su Wu Kong. In his escapades, they're told in a very long novel in a book called The Journey to the West. And I'm going to read you just a little short story from one of the many stories they have in that long book called The Journey to the West. The Monkey King was clever. He could transform himself into 72 forms. He was agile. That means he was very flexible. He could travel on clouds, leaping thousands of miles in a single somersault, and was an unbeatable opponent in martial arts. He was cunning. He had tricked the Dragon King of the Eastern Skies into giving him magical possessions. But above all, Monkey King was ambitious. He had entered the underworld and crossed out his name from the Book of Judgment so that he would never die. And he believed that he should be the ruler of the heavens. The Jade Emperor, who ruled the heavenly court of immortals, tried to control him but failed. In desperation, Buddha, the wisest of all, was asked to help. Monkey lost the Buddha's challenge and was imprisoned under a magic mountain to repent. And he was there for a very long, long time. But years later, in fact, 500 years later, a gentle priest named Zhu Zheng was required to travel west to India to bring back the Buddhist scriptures to China, and he would encounter many dangers on his journey. So he needed protection. Who better than to ask for help from the monkey? Finally released after so long, Monkey willingly joined the humble priest and his two other companions. an exiled general, Sha Wujing, and a banished commander, Zhu Unzheng, who had been transformed into a pig. Here's a picture of him. They traveled through imaginary lands and were tested by many dangers, such as a volcanic eruption, dragons, and demons. On one adventure, they noticed the air getting hotter and hotter, and the fiery mountains were ahead of them, and the only way across was a special plantain fan belonging to Princess Iron Fan. That's a fun name, isn't it? Princess Iron Fan. She refused to give it to Monkey and blew him away with a single wave of the fan. He returned with a wind-fixing pill in his mouth so that he could stand firm. This time, the princess locked herself away, but Monkey turned into an insect, flew into the room, and landed in the tea she was drinking. She swallowed him, and he caused her great pain. She agreed to give him the fan in return for leaving her alone, but she gave him a false one. Monkey returned for a third time, this time transforming himself into her husband, the Bull Demon King. However, once she gave him the fan, the actual Bull Demon King, her husband, chased him and they fought fiercely. Pig and Sha Wujing joined in to help Monkey. With the plantain fan, Monkey put out the demon's fire and they could cross the mountains, continuing on their journey. Hooray! On their return with the scriptures, they were all rewarded by becoming Buddhas and flying up to live in the heavens. So a happy ending after all for all the people journeying on their way. And you can see the picture of them down here, all going on their journey to the West. So there was a happy ending to that story. I have a fun project for you to do this week that will remind you of the Monkey King. And that is, I'm going to post this picture here that shows this. I'm going to make it bigger for you, but it's your very own mask you can make of the Monkey King. And what you do is you take a paper plate. Let me stop sharing here so that you can see this a little bit better. There we go. So you can take a paper plate like this, and then you can cut out 2 ears out of the second paper plate. So just all I did was I took a separate paper plate and I just cut out the edge, and you can just trace out a shape that you like if you want, or you can just start cutting, but I just drew on a paper plate as something that I liked, and then I just cut it out of this paper plate. See, I just cut it out. I liked the first one that I did, so then I just put it down on this, and I just drew around it with a pencil. And then I had 2 shapes that were just exactly the same. And then I just cut out the second one from the pencil that I had a shape on the plate. And then what you can do is you can take this and see how there's one side that curves in and one side that curves out. You take the side that is curving out, and on the side that curves in is where you want to put the tape. You tape it on this side that curves in, and then you have ears. See? Now Mr. Monkey Mask has ears on the outside. So you tape it on the inside part that's curved, like the part that you would eat off of. And then the mask part goes on the side that would be the side that goes down on the table, that you would set down on the table. And there's where you put his face. And when you get done, it ends up looking like this. And you can use this picture exactly, or this is what one of their traditional monkey masks looks like. And you can paint it, or you can use markers. Either way would be nice. And you can copy that traditional mask, or you can create your own monkey mask, whichever you want to do. But as you're doing it, you can think about the story of the Monkey King and how he is a real mythological character that was a mischievous sort of character in way over in China, but who is well loved and that they like to tell stories of from the book, The Journey to the West. I would love to see pictures if you make this mask. And so you can post it. I am posting this on a page where it's not a discussion page this week, but you can still post it and I will see it and send you back a note about it. So there is still a way that you can post it to me. And I have put directions up there in case you have any problems posting it. There are some directions this week that will tell you how you can post it. In case you have any problems, look on this week's assignment and you will see under this week a way to post it in case you're having problems. So have a great week and have fun with this assignment. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Bye.